Kali Linux 2.0, and cracking the Hack5 Hack Across America Challenge Coin. This episode of Hack5 is brought to you by Domain.com. Hello and welcome to Hack5. My name is Shannon Morse.
I'm Darren Kitchen.
And this is your weekly dose of Technolust.
It truly is. In fact, this is episode 1901.
It truly is.
It truly is.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, did you know this year in hacker history, the first semiconductor rectifiers were patented as cat whisker detectors?
Wow, Shannon, I feel like we've come a long way from detecting cat whiskers with semiconductors. Thank you for that awesome tidbit of hacker history from 1901.
Anytime, dude.
We're going to switch the show numbers to hex. I'm sorry, we're still a little loopy from coming back from DEF CON. We had a grand old time.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
did.
everybody that came out and said hello. It really means a lot to us.
So I'm super stoked about today's episode because, first off, we have some amazing challenge coins sitting over here.
Oh, yes, we do. An amazing display of coins of challengey goodness. We'll get into what some of these are and why they are in just a bit, because Council of 9 is awesome! And there will be spoilers at the end of this episode, so stay tuned.
I have these.
Yes. Oh, wow, speaking of DEF CON and epic stuff we brought back, look at all the stickers.
Ah!
Thank you for the stickers. We're
Yes.
going to make it rain stickers. Actually, we're going to speed up the thing so Shannon can put them all on the board. Thank you for stickers.
Yay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and now you have to stand over on the right. The other side. All right, that's good. We are going to need a much bigger board.
I think you're right.
Wow.
We need to start covering yours with stickers
I
now.
need to put the payphone over there.
You can cover the payphone with stickers.
No,
Then it would be real
need to-
legit. You should put, I know, a Trust Your Technolist sticker on the side of the payphone.
Oh, on the yes, yes. There is an asterisk segment coming up, obviously. With a payphone, it's just screaming for some VoIP. Maybe a 900 number? No, maybe not. All right. Hey, you know what other fun stuff we saw at DEF CON?
What?
The release of a brand new successor to Backtrack.
Yes, we
I'm talking
did.
about Kali here.
So we reviewed Kali Linux on 1408, I believe it was, which is the successor to good old Backtrack.
Which was the successor, of course, to good old Auditor and
Yeah.
Wapix and Knoppix STD and all of those other live
It's a great
distros.
tool. Great tool
Yes.
for pen testers since, it comes with all the different tools you need and it's been around for quite a while. It was just updated a few days ago from when we are recording this. Now it's called Kali Linux 2.0.
Yay! Get your downloads on. Actually, get your torrents on because those are going much faster.
Oh yeah, the torrents are way faster. Kali.org/downloads is where you can get. It's a rolling distro this time. So that basically means that updates are going to be a lot easier now going forwards. Instead of having to go and update all of your tools separately, it's going to be rolling. Tools will get automatic updating in the background. So there's this package updater that runs in the background and it's going to notify you of any updates that you might have. Let me log in so I stop getting...
Oh, please tell me that your password is Tor still.
Oh, of course.
All right.
Oops, I might have put in root. My bad. Tor, there we go. So it runs on GNOME 3, as you can tell, with native support. It also can run KDE, LXDE, a few other ones if you have a different
like
one. that you
Mate
choose.
or Mate?
Like Mate, yes, that's right. The minimum RAM required for the new build is 768 megs.
Okay,
so
so
there
that-
is a light edition with XFCE desktop in place of GNOME in case you want that instead. They also updated NetHunter. They updated the Chromebook builds, so you can update to Kali 2.0 on those.
XFC is going to be huge for the Chromebook build,
yeah.
for sure. And I think Chromebooks make the best Kali boxes
I think you're right.
if they have the right
They're
chipset.
very, very useful. VMware was updated. VirtualBox were updated both by Offensive Security, so they have builds of those as well over at offensivesecurity.com. So yay, we have new builds for everything. The 4.0 kernel, it runs on Debian and Jessie with improved hardware and wireless driver support. So lots and lots of added added support in
That's-
Kali 2.0.
That's kind of always the big reason to update. And of course,
Yeah.
they do a great job of just putting all of the tools in together so that you don't have to sit there and try to figure out like, oh, well, this one requires this dependency of Ruby, and this thing needs that
Yeah.
gem, and this thing needs this esoteric Python library that nobody's used. And so that all notwithstanding, it's really great to just like grab a distro that gets the job done, because sometimes you just want to make it do the thing. And I really applaud them for making it do the thing. But some of the frustration, of course, with not just Kali, but even the Backtrack legacy has been like tools get updated, but then you're like, damn, this is a real pain to get the
Yeah.
new tool on there, and so you might as well just like install the new OS, and that's just
Yep.
kind of crazy pants.
It's fine if you
So-
have like a live CD or a live USB, but if you're actually using this in a day-to-day scenario,
Don't use this as a day-to-day
Which you
scenario.
probably
It runs
shouldn't
you
be.
as root. Also, I know somebody who got owned at DEF CON because he didn't change his password from Tor. Please change your
Oh,
password.
guys, come on. I mean, I'm doing a demo, so yes, I'm using Tor right now, but dude.
I know Mubix is going to be really excited that they made some changes in regards to the Metasploit as well.
So they got rid of Metasploit Community and Pro editions inside of Kali Linux 2.0, but the Metasploit framework package is still hosted. So basically that means that you can still use Metasploit in it, but not with that fancy GUI that came with Community and Pro
You
editions.
need the fancy GUI
So-
anyway. And actually, all of the payloads and all of the modules that you'll find in the community editions, in the Pro and whatever other editions they have, are also in the community framework edition,
Yeah, they are.
the open source one. So you might as well just clone that from Git anyway.
And I believe
That's what we
Mubix
do.
really likes framework.
He really does, and that's what we use in Pentest with Hack 5.
Yes.
New dates if you haven't checked. Good stuff.
Ooh, yay. So you can download Metasploit as usual from Rapid7. You would still have to sign up for a license over there. You would have to go to their site and actually sign up, download it from them. But if you just want framework, that's still available in here. The biggest update though, other than, of course, updating, is the interface. So if you want to take a look at my computer, I have it up and running on here. It's a new interface. It's new, it's snappy, it's very fancy. They have this nice little application tool on the sidebar, which I believe Paul
This
can
is
see. Yeah, you can
This is
see it on
GNOME
there.
3, right?
Yes, so this is GNOME 3. It's probably very, very familiar if you used one of the more newer Ubuntu builds or anything with GNOME 3 running in it. It's very easy to open up any of your different tools, and they all work out of the box. I have a few errors with dependencies on my machine just because it's my Acer,
Well, that's also
but whatever.
you running Wireshark for the first time ever as root. So
Yeah,
there you go.
that too. So everything works like it should. You still have the drop-down tools up here as you did in the previous version, but they have been cleaned up a lot. They look a lot easier. It's not as big of a tree, so it's a lot easier to find whatever kind of tools that you're searching for, and everything has been defined really, really well.
I like how they categorize these guys.
And I like the icons too. The icons are very
They're pretty
useful. So
icons.
it's very easy to find something that you're using pretty commonly. So
I'm just so like happy that this is where we are right now with hacker distros.
I
Is
know.
like, oh, usability, making them pretty, making them easy to use.
Right.
It's like, wait, so does that mean that we kind of like
I
have
was
risen
waiting for this.
past the making it work aspect, which is great. That's where we want to be.
yeah, that's exactly what this
How does
is.
workspace switching look? Because
Oh,
that's
so
the
workspace
biggest
switching.
thing for me.
So you can either go up here, and this is kind of cool because I can actually push it out with my finger.
Oh, that is
Check.
the default GNOME 3. I like that.
Yeah, and then you have your different
it's-
workspaces. I can do up
It's
to 4.
touchscreen responsive.
It is touchscreen responsive, and I kind of love that. So I'm touching my screen right now. And then I can also go back to one of my regular workspaces. I can push up, and I get this notification toolbar at the bottom. So this is where I'll see any kind of messages for updates that are going on my screen. And yeah, Paul can see that on his screen up there as well. And if I use my finger to pull it up, they also have a keyboard that pops up. So I'll do that one more time. So they actually included a nice touchscreen
Oh,
keyboard,
wow.
and I kind of love that because I do use my touchscreen a lot.
You know,
So-
there are also builds of this for ARM. So putting this
Yes,
on a
there
tablet
are.
or a
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi might be quite easy.
Yeah, super, super easy.
Makes you wonder about NetHunter, but okay, either way, still really cool.
Yeah,
Still
and
really easy.
Same with GNOME 3, you can customize to your heart's content with your applications in the different folders, or you can put them over on the sidebar however you choose. There's like a nice little one for all all your popular ones, all the ones that you use the most, and things will automatically be included in there as you open up your applications more and more often. So this whole update for me is more about, and they even mention this on their blog, they say it's about user experience with this new interface, of course, and then maintaining all the tool repos and all those packages.
Yeah.
So they're making it easier for users to use. Not as many updates for like new tools and things like that.
Well, no, that's the beauty of it, is it sounds like they've really put a lot of focus on the engine,
Yeah.
so that in the future they can just roll new tools without having to make you install a new distro. And so, of course, if you're going to get everybody baselined onto something that you're going to continue rolling out new parts of the engine to,
Oh, yeah,
you want to make it
absolutely.
pretty so that they'll want to continue using it.
That's
so,
true.
yeah, I'm just really happy that this is
The
sexy
user
and works.
experience. Now there are some issues. Mine worked out of the box. I had no issues at all.
Didn't have like RF kill issues with your
No,
Wi-Fi.
I had no problems with the wireless at all. So it might just be the drivers that are included in my computer.
There's a new version of AirCrack in here.
Yeah.
Some people are, actually
There
a lot
are
of
a few
tutorials.
issues that people talked about, but you can find all their tutorials at docs.cali.org, which are pretty helpful once I started going through them, and they solved most of the issues that I saw being tweeted out.
Yeah.
Luckily,
you're going to run into some problems though if you're reading old tutorials.
Yes.
That mention the old way of doing things with AirCrack, and now you
Yeah.
have to do the new way. And so you just need to be familiar with it.
yeah, just make sure you're reading the ones for Kali 2.0, not Kali original.
Well, all the old stuff will work. You just have to make a few little minor adjustments to the way you
Right.
do your commands, and things like Mon0 may not be the same as it
But
used
if you're
to be.
not used to it, if this is your first time experiencing Linux, or if you're not used to like running Mon0 or WLAN0 or whatever the differences are, you might run into issues with that. So definitely read the new tutorials as opposed to the old ones, because those additional steps won't be there for
Do
you.
they have GNU Radio or any of those in this new stuff? Let's check that out.
I
because
don't think GNU Radio is in here.
I'm going to plug a HackRF into this guy.
Yeah, I didn't see it when I was going through
just-
them earlier.
Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Just type in GNU dash.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, GRC. Good. GNU Radio
Sweet.
Companion. All right, that's
Yeah.
good to see.
Yay! Okay, I'm glad you found it. I couldn't find it in the sources. Oh well, I'll keep looking.
Yeah.
So luckily there are some alternatives too, because I know not everybody Kali is going to be the thing for them, which I'll also take a look at all of those in a future episode. I have used Pentoo for HackerF and RTLSDR because GNU Radio Companion works in those out of the box. There is also Black Arch Linux, there's Backbox Linux, there's Arch Strike, which is coming soon, and they're going to have a newly updated version of Arch Strike. So you can find all of those. I'll put the links in the show notes for each of those
So
that you
many
can download
great
too.
options these days.
I know.
People should let us know in the feedback in the comments what they would like to see either continued with Kali or what other distros of choice they have for the pen testing goodness.
Ooh, GNU Radio Companion. Yum.
Yes. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, we're going to be cracking some challenge coins.
Yay!
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Stick around.
I'm gonna play with my HackerF now.
Domain.com and .club came to Hack5 with a great idea. Build a club all about learning stuff, making things, and having fun. And so we did just that, and man, what a brilliant idea. We recently hosted our very first ever open house at the Hack5 warehouse, and with the help of Domain.com and .club, we put on a mini LAN party, micro drone obstacle course, 3D print fest, quadcopter race, and killer barbecue. And I must say, these guys get it. The internet, and hacker culture in particular, it's all about fostering community. From BBSs to FidoNet to IRC, it's all about coming together and having fun, and what better domain to do it than a .club? It's perfect because a .club is universally and globally understood, not just here in the United States. So if you're building a new business or naming your startup, consider a .club as the ultimate social domain. Join us in the San Francisco Bay Area for workshops and projects and crazy indoor quadcopter races at our very own .club, hackhouse.club. Then head over to domain.com/club to register your .club today. They're only $9.99 a year, and there are thousands of awesome options still available. Make sure to use the coupon code HAK5 to save 15% and let the guys over at domain.com know we sent you. So, when you think domain names, think domain.com.
A little over 2 years ago, Hack Across America 2013 kicked off, and with it was a pretty sweet challenge coin. Shannon, we're going to be talking about some challenge coins.
Yes!
Yes!
I love challenge coins. Please be careful around
I just
the
got a new
laptop.
one.
You did?
That one was from the DEF CON vendors. Pretty cool. I know. I'm really
says-
excited about those.
Can I tell them what it says on the
No.
back?
it says stuff about loot.
Awesome.
And oh my gosh, I love trading challenge coins. It's, challenge coins are like such a big thing about hacker culture. That typically they're used, to prove organization in a thing like military. You're like, oh, I'm part of the flying something somethings, or the wild weasels. There we go. That's one, and it bears the unit's insignia. And overall, it's about enhancing morale. They are fond with hackers, and especially when they actually have a challenge, like some of these do. This NSA one. No, oh, this isn't the one with the numbers around the edge, but that's a fun NSA one. And this is one of my other favorites, B-52.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh yeah, 008, good stuff. DEF CON Wireless Village, of course. Anyway, I could geek on and on and on about these. Pentest with Hack5. Area 41, this is good stuff. This is actually the DEF CON Switzerland group. Zombies,
anyway.
B-sides. Anyway, yes. So challenge coins are fun. And so for DEF CON, like this is where I trade challenge coins, is at DEF CON.
Yeah, of course.
Similarly, the DEF CON badges also contain challenges. This year, the challenge was actually on this record.
And it's a legit record.
It
I
is.
know people are going to be like, don't do that, but
No, it is. And actually, stop! Don't eat it. Are you trying to like? We like a 1980s.
Rapper.
There you go, DJ Scribble or whatever. All right, Shannon, thanks. Well, so
Just
the way
ruined
that
its
DEF CON,
worth.
thank you. Actually, what you're doing is you're ruining the dual core track that's on here, which is pretty cool. But in addition to that, there's a bunch of other things. And the way that DEF CON does it is every other year it swaps between an analog and a digital. You've seen these badges. They're basically like mini computers. It's pretty cool. And so this year was analog, and this year the badge was this record instead of a circuit board. And what's really cool is that this DEF CON badge and this Hack Across America challenge coin share something in common.
they both have a challenge?
Well, they both have a challenge, yes, but they were also both cracked by the
this
Council of
year?
9.
Ooh, what?
Yes. Yes.
That's cool.
There's a great write-up on Potato Sack, actually, if you want to go and check that out, on actually breaking this down and how Council of 9 was actually able to, figure out Lost's badge. But they were also able to, when they, finished the DEF CON badge, move on to the Hack Across America Challenge coin, which is epic because this means that I can now walk you through it in similar fashion,
Yay!
which also means spoilers. So if you're one of the
Spoilers! Spoilers!
Yes. So if you're like one of the 1,000 people who received one of these coins on the Hack Across America 2013 tour, and you're still working on it, just an FYI. Otherwise, this is a really fun coin, and I can't wait to walk you through it because there's lots of cool, fun
Let's
challenges
do it.
stuff, and we're going to build on this here real soon. So here is the coin. See if we can get a tight shot on that. There we go.
Very
Here's the
nice.
front of the coin. You'll notice you got the Hack 5 emblem on there, and it says Trust Your Technolust at the top.
Of course.
And then we also have the Hack Across America. And in between, you'll notice a little bit of ciphertext. Oh, good stuff. Also on the back, there's a lot going on the back. So
yeah.
we have degrees around the top, starting with 0, so 360 degrees around here. We have the domain.com logo in the center because domain.com was epic enough to pay for these because they're not cheap, and those guys are rad. And actually, a lot of this had to do with David over there calling me and saying, like, yeah, dude, do something cool, put like Sumerian on there. So we'll get to why Sumerian is on here. But most notably, you'll notice there are some numbers around the perimeter there. At the very
Yeah.
top, it starts with hashtag Hack Across America, and then it starts with 33441, then 28782. Then this one should
Those
be very
sound like zip
familiar.
codes.
Yes, this should be pretty familiar with anybody old school Hack 5, especially you and Paul Shannon. 23185.
Oh, yeah.
23188. These
Oh,
are
yeah.
Williamsburg, Virginia. So actually, all of these zip codes, in fact, represent the places that I visited all the way around. You can see as the numbers increase, we're in the 4,000s here, or the 40,000s, the 30,000s, the 70,000s, the 80,000s, and then finally ends up in 94104, which is San Francisco, California. This represents the first Hack Across America on the
Wow.
motorcycle,
Yeah.
bringing us all to California. Such good times.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and yes, zip codes increase as they go west. Good stuff. But they are not just zip codes. They are actually, you can mod 25 these guys, which is a really simple cipher. Just 0 is A and 25 is Z,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they mod 25 over to a one-time pad. if you will. And so basically, this one-time pad, it's been used many times on Twitter with the hashtag Hack Across America, which makes it susceptible to all sorts of attacks because, well, they're one-time pads. They're not supposed to be reused.
Oh, well.
But anyway, you get a bunch of jumbles of letters when you take all of those zip codes and convert them over. And you'll also notice another jumble of letters right here. So this translates over to Arna Thompson 124 when you use the one-time pad around the perimeter to actually decipher that. Now, if you search Arna Thompson, you're going to get what's called a document, or it's actually a catalog of anecdotes, a addenda to the Arne Thompson catalog of anecdotes in the folklore archives of the Finnish Literature Society.
What?
What does that mean? Okay, so it's a document. It is a multi-volume tale-type index designed to aid folklorists in identifying reoccurring plot patterns in the narratives and the structures of traditional folk tales.
Oh, that's
What?
really cool. I
So
didn't know
here it
you
is
even did
on
that.
Wikipedia. And you can go ahead and pick up this classification system. It's really cool. Basically, you've got animal tales and fairy tales and religious tales. And it's a way to catalog all of these so that you can figure out what the different plots are. So if you haven't lost it already, 124, as we mentioned, that comes down to the Three Little Pigs. Now, as we're familiar, the story of the Three Little Pigs had to do with these guys that were trying to save themselves from, was it the wolf? It's
Yeah,
always
the big bad wolf.
The big bad wolf, by the way, is in like so many fairy tales. It's ridiculous,
he
which
is.
is why one of the numbers is a 4, I think, or maybe it's the 2. Either way. So this classification system brings us to the Three Little Pigs.
Okay.
And as we know, the 3 pigs tried to save themselves from the big bad wolf by hiding in a house full of straw.
Yep.
Didn't work so well. House full of made of wood. Didn't work so well. And
House
then
full of
finally
bricks.
a house of bricks. And that worked all right. I should also point out that sometimes the Arne Thompson dude is like spelled different for some reasons, which is why if you go to EEF5204D6A.com, which is a reoccurring shared key that we use on Hack5 quite a lot, it's also printed on this coin right here, the original Hack5. This is the 7-year challenge coin. And on the back there, that translates over, if you get your QR code reader out right now, to EEF5204D6A. So if you go to that website, and I'll pick that up.
It's very hard to scan that, by the way, with the reflection.
Yes, it is. You get this. And if you take that and run it through the one-time pad, you'll actually get sed and then a bunch of letters /s. So sed, of course, being the Unix tool to do some replacements. And in this case, I'm just replacing the one spelling of Arne Thompson with the other because sometimes it's with an E, sometimes it's with an A,
Okay.
and your mileage may vary on Google. So that's kind of like a little hint there. So 124 being Three Little Pigs, the big bad wolf, as we know, and worked out pretty well for the pigs, I guess.
For the one in the brick house.
That brings us to the Sumerian.
Okay.
Okay. So around the perimeter, we have these numbers, which are obvious. They should be 0 being here, 180 being here. So those are your degrees.
Right.
We also have a couple of clocks around here. So the degrees are actually marked with these clocks, these 2 clocks, right here and here. And one of them is inverted and one is not. And it's really difficult to see the minute and second hands because they're so small. However, there are also in each quadrant these what are called Sumerian sexagesimal. So they're kind of like hieroglyphics, right? So these and those are for this clock, and these and those are for that clock. And so what those mean is basically the Sumerians had invented a base 60 numbering system in the 3rd millennium BC. And it was passed down through the ancient Babylonians who totally ripped them off, and it's now used to measure things like time and angle and geographic coordinates. In fact, it is the reason why we have 60 seconds in a minute, and it's the reason why we have 60 minutes in an hour. And it's the reason why there are 360 degrees in a compass, even though the military sometimes uses a 1,000-degree compass, which is weird, but whatever. It's arbitrary, like why not? And there's actually a really cool counting system with their knuckles and stuff that I'm not gonna get into now. But anyway, suffice it to say, the Sumerians were kind of badass, and Domain.com was kind of badass for starting this whole mess by saying like, dude, put Sumerian on the coin. And I'm like,
That's
what?
awesome.
I think it has something to do with William Gibson. We'll move on. But if you take degrees, minutes, and seconds as you know, those can be expressed as longitude and latitude. And so the non-inverted clock here in the top right, this here is going to go ahead, when you decipher the sexagesimal there, it's going to equal around, well, you can see it's around 38 degrees just based on the numbers around here.
Yeah.
But when you decipher these, you find out that it's 38 degrees, 14 minutes, and 5 seconds. Now the inverted clock over here, that's at 122 degrees. But since it's inverted, I'm trying to say that it's negative 122. So negative 122 degrees by 38 minutes by 33 seconds. Now, if you didn't make it negative, you just end up somewhere in like the Mediterranean and you're in the wrong place. But when we go ahead and convert
So you end up with
those,
both latitude and longitude coordinates.
yes,
Dude.
that brings you to, if you want to convert those over to decimal, you get to 38.234722 by negative 122.6425.
Okay.
Okay, so now, of course, the first thing you're going to want to do is pull that up in Google Maps and start an epic road trip, no matter where you are.
So
Right.
yeah, I'll pick it up from here. So when you actually put in those latitude and longitude coordinates, you end up in a place in Petaluma, if I am correct. So specifically, it's 140 Keller Street, and you'll see a little thing right here that says Twit on it. And if I take my little Street View guy right here and drop him, you'll notice that, and let's go over here to the entrance. Come on.
Well, why don't you refresh that while I zoom in? I've got it over here. So a lot of people were like, wait a second. So now you're telling me that I have to drive to this cow town outside of San Francisco? And that's not necessarily the case. If we drop this Street
Mine
View
just
guy,
went jakey.
did it really? Okay, well then I'm going to go down Keller Street, and suddenly there's like an arrow, an extra arrow here, and we can actually, just from within Street View, walk in the door of the Twit Brick House. So the Twit Brick House, it's known to many podcast aficionados as Lee Laporte's home, and it was paid for by many contributors who basically got customized bricks laid when they contributed, and so we did that. And if we actually go down this corridor here,
So
you'll
when
see,
you go through the corridor, if you look closely at all the different bricks, you will find a Hack 5 brick. And
think
luckily, it's right in the middle where you can see it pretty easily.
it's just past this door.
Yep.
And where is it?
If you look
It's-
above,
Oh, there we go. Ah. Now mine's getting all weird. There we are.
there, yeah, it's above Sonos.
Hack 5. And so, yes, that's pretty epic that using Street View, we're able to go into the lobby of this place and find a brick labeled Hack 5. And you'll actually notice right under Hack 5, it says 32D2748D48. And just a little FYI, that's actually a 64-bit web key that's derived when you use the when you generate it from Trusty Technodust.
Aw,
Because I was
That's
thinking
adorable.
ahead in 2010 when we made those bricks. So there we go. That right there brings us back to the front of the coin. Now, on the front of the coin, as I mentioned, over here we have our Hack Across America. And we have these two lines here. And what that is some ciphertext. This is actually AES 256 encrypted. And that 32D274BD48 that we saw on the brick is actually the key to the coin. And so when you
Ah.
decipher that, it actually brings you to a URL, which then concludes the first phase of the Hack Across America Challenge.
the first phase.
The first phase. I don't want to spoil it, although I just did spoil it. So follow along, and you'll get to the entrance to the. I don't want to give it away.
Spoil over!
I don't want to give it
Spoiler
away
over!
because now we're at the second phase.
Yeah.
And what's pretty epic about this is now we have the opportunity to build on this. And so,
That's so
if you will
cool.
be joining us at Camp 503, expect to stack with this guy and create something really magical. I'm very excited about that. But I
so
shouldn't
cool.
give too much of it away because Camp 503, if it is coming to your area, you would only know if you had signed up at Camp 503 because it's an underground thing. It really is.
It's true.
Yes. Man, that was fun.
That was so awesome.
I am just really excited that the audience gives us this permission to do this kind of crazy stuff, and I'm just it's really thankful that the Council of Nine had broken this so that it's like finally after 2 years a group has cracked the challenge.
That was really cool.
I can now tell everybody about it. Oh man, so much good stuff coming up.
I know, yeah. We have I don't even know what's coming up. We have a barbecue coming up.
On the 29th of
the 29th.
August. So you have to sign up for that over at hackhouse.club, HAKHAUSE.club.
And then we also are going to be doing another penetration testing seminar, Pen Test with Hack 5.
That right there is something you have to sign up for at pentestwithhack5.com.
Yay! Is
And
that
then
it?
and then of course the camp
Camp
that I just
503.
mentioned. We are going to be doing a camp in September, but for legal reasons I cannot tell you the dates nor the location. You just have to sign up at camp503.com.
Hackshop, HAKshop.com is where you can go to do all the things.
URL Fest at the end of the show.
Well, that's what the show that's what people
I
do.
know. We just have so many domain names.
And then everybody that watches the show goes,
No. They are eagerly awaiting you to take a bite out of the record. There we go. See?
hack all the things.
Drink all the booze. With
Drink
that,
all
we're
the
going to
booze.
do just those things in that order and see how far we get with step number 2. So until next week, thank you again for your support. Hack5.org is where you can find, that's the mothership with all of those things. And we will see you next week. Until then, I'm Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon Morse.
Trust your Technolist.
Advanced persistence in Linux with razors and disks.
What? What are you talking about? Shannon, that's not even what we're talking about this episode. Do it again. It works. It's a Hack 5 challenge going regardless.
Let me do it one more time. And
Nah, it's cool.
Shh, look, I'm going to do
I liked
it.
it better. It's
I
like
will
5
do
times.
it one more time.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
I have to work with this. I'm like afraid you're about to bite it or something. Yeah, it's made of gold. See, I don't eat things like that.